Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of season 2 here on the Tell Your Friends podcast. The boys are back in the studio. Drew DeSalle here coming at you. Across the tables, our boy Mikey G. Cyberg.
Hey, how we doing? It feels weird just being the two of us again. We're back to our roots here on the one-on-one podcast.
Yep. Feels good to be back in the studio. It's been a little while. It was 2 weeks? Maybe over 2 weeks?
3 weeks. We had what do we have? We had a surgery in between. We had a couple snowstorms and a goddamn partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, I'm slinging around, man. I finally got my shoulder fixed up, so I'm halfway through my month in a sling, but the stitches will come out tomorrow. And I want to welcome the listeners. Maybe you guys heard the Bachelor podcast. Maybe you're new with us on season 2, right? Welcome. Maybe you're on your commute. Maybe you're on your way home. Maybe you're thinking, I got to hit pause and get off of this thing.
Yeah, at that point, I'm sure they're probably thinking something along those lines. It's all those Vicodin that you've been taking that are getting to your head a little bit.
Oh, they had me all hopped up. It was morphine and Oxycontin all at the same time. It was crazy.
Yeah, we should have thought this through a little bit better. We should have saved a couple for this podcast and made things real interesting.
Oh, you jeez. Or hit the resale market.
Something we could have really monetized. We're failing to monetize these opportunities as they present themselves right in front of our faces.
Down in the inner city too. All right, so we're calling this episode the Super Bowl episode, the Super Bowl special, big game coming up this weekend, man.
Super Bowl week. I think my early thoughts on the big game are, boy, are these two forgettable teams. I mean, you got your Patriots who are always there,
Sure,
and the Falcons who just make such an unintriguing matchup. There's not much appeal there.
This would be the first for franchise history for Atlanta. So that's kind of cool. I think both of us, we were hoping to see our teams here. I mean, we were hoping Steelers, we were hoping Giants.
Oh, sure. I've already gotten my bitching and complaining about the Giants out of the way on the podcast, but I guess it's your turn to provide your quick Steelers rant and what happened in that AFC Championship game.
Yeah, it stinks. I mean, we're getting roasted. We got roasted down by the Patriots, and it just feels like, that happens every year. We go and there's a, AFC Championship against the Patriots. Got to go up to Foxborough, get our asses kicked. But I hope Ben sticks around. I think we got a young defense. I think they can maybe gel and click a little bit. I think we got another good 2-3 years hopefully with him, and we can do some damage.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about that Ben Roethlisberger comment. I think his comments maybe created a story that wasn't necessary. I didn't see any indication that he was going to retire this year, but he throws, I don't know if I'm going to be playing next year out, and all of a sudden, is the city of Pittsburgh in panic mode yet?
Yeah, I think Steelers Nation's kind of divided on it. I think there's half people would love to see him go and move on, and the other half is like, this guy won us some Super Bowls, and I want him to stay. I'm on that side of the fence.
Yeah, I think you'd want the franchise guy to stick around as long as possible. I know Eli Manning stinks, but I don't want him going anywhere.
Sure. Well, and for, obviously Brady's solidified. Like, he is, Hall of Fame caliber quarterback, right? Probably one of, if not the best quarterback in the league. But for Matt Ryan, this is really his chance to prove something. So, I mean, I think there's some interesting stuff going on, right?
Yeah, his coming out party, league MVP. He definitely had one hell of a year, and no one took Atlanta seriously all year.
Right.
All year, you're looking at this, anyone's going to beat them in the playoffs, and they rolled through. I mean, we haven't had one intriguing playoff game yet this whole entire playoff season.
Yeah.
So maybe Super Bowl LI, as I like to say, will surprise us.
Yeah. But at the same time, how like the storyline during the year for the NFL was like the ratings and everything, that just has completely turned around. Like, everybody's tuned in now to the playoffs, especially going to be the Super Bowl. But even though, like you said, the games weren't all that exciting, the playoff games did really well in the ratings, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think once everyone tuned their attention off the political coverage, it's back down to business and back down to what makes America great, the wonderful world of sports and the NFL.
Yeah, so we'll touch on it lightly, and I'm glad you kind of segue into that. So my irrational hope, which I know it's not going to happen, it's impossible. They're going to have it in there, but my hope is to just please keep the politics out of the for all that is sacred about the Super Bowl. Just keep it away. Get it out of the commercials. Get it out of the halftime shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know one of the fun things about the Super Bowl is the prop bets. And there are a lot of prop bets going on about Lady Gaga. Will she say the word Trump? Will she make a political statement? You know she's going to make a political statement. It's a matter of what she says and if she says his name or not. But it's like
Right.
every event is a new chance to bash what's going on in the country.
And she's a very politically charged artist in the first place.
Yeah, there's all kinds of bets on her just because she's such a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got coming out in meat. I mean, she could be coming out naked. I think one of the prop bets I saw is what color hair will she be sporting?
Interesting. Wait, how's that a bet though? If it's that's open ended.
Well, you could put money on, certain colors have different odds. You can
cerulean.
Maybe for a plus 130, you can go with blue. I'm going to go with a blue and I could see her doing like a half Falcons, half Patriots kind of thing. Maybe she does like the helmet logos spray painted on the side of her noggin.
Macaroni.
I don't know.
Macaroni, like all those crayon. I'm thinking of all those old Crayola colors. Macaroni, azure.
Yeah, I don't know if those prop bets are there. They're probably like plus.
Yeah.
I don't even. They're minus 1,000. If our former guest is listening, Josh Talby, he'll know. I know a thing or two about gambling.
Oh, yeah. So Talby, I did check in with him before we hopped on. He's got money on the game. He's already got it down. I think he said it's like 1,300 on the Pats. And if I were a betting man, I think I'd go along with him. I'd probably pick Patriots. That's probably the popular pick too. But my heart's with Atlanta. I want to see the Falcons get that first one. I like Matt Ryan. I like Julio. The running backs, Freeman.
Yeah, I would say your
Coleman.
heart is with America. If we could agree on the football team, or agree on politics the way we're all agreeing on which football team to root for this Sunday, we'd be really cooking with dynamite.
The Patriots are they're easy villains. They've been there before. They've won it. They're the perennial, the franchise, whatever. That'd be their, I think, 5th or 6th Super Bowl.
It'd be number 5 for old Thomas, and this is his how do you say it? His seventh Super Bowl appearance.
Jeez, man. That's a heck of a legacy to leave behind.
Been there, done that, man. He's definitely created a staple. And then so much controversy in New England. They had Deflategate and Spygate and God knows whatever else gate. And they just churned through. They, quote unquote, do their job. And here we are again.
Right. Yeah, the team kind of has those undertones that they're taking it to the next level to win. You know what I mean? That they're doing whatever, shady business needs to be done.
It's like Watergate down there. They're just going to make something happen.
Yeah, they're kind of like the college basketball coach that's like got his dirty recruiting going on, but he's like Teflon and he can't get caught. He's like, hey, it's all good. Like Calipari or somebody.
Yeah. And there aren't many storylines coming out of the Super Bowl, but did you see the one about Kyle Shanahan, the offensive coordinator, soon to be San Francisco head coach?
No.
He's the offensive coordinator for Atlanta. Lost his backpack or something with the playbook in it. And I don't know if someone in the Patriots stumbled, but it just, it plants that little conspiracy theory into your head. Like, okay, always some kind of shady work going on.
Interesting.
He comes out and says, oh, oldest trick in the book. It's the fake playbook. But I think he was just being a doofus. And
yikes, man. So this really happened. He lost it where? Hotel, airport, what?
I'm not sure where he lost it. I don't know much about this story at all. I probably shouldn't have brought it up, but I'm going to use my very little knowledge base and make assumptions like I usually do.
This is what we have the listeners for. You guys go do it. That's your homework. Let us know.
Yeah, tweet at us. That's the next level of podcast fame. Is once we get some kind of fan interaction where they're tweeting at us, our listeners, and they're saying, "Hey, I noticed you made a mistake about the 3:47 mark when you said it was Atlanta playing this weekend."
Yeah. I mean, we mess up all kind of shit on this podcast, and yeah, nobody's really calling us out on it, so that's nice.
But you know what? That's what we're here for. We're a show that's going to do very minimal prep work. And we're going to get on here and tell it like it is.
Yeah.
And we're going to pretty much push our opinions on everyone and
take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. And we hopefully won't have any consequence for it.
Yeah, our shtick or what we do, we really don't talk about the topics. We kind of have a loose list that we want to hit on, and then we're just, it's the first time we'll bring up a lot of stuff. So like to get the reactions on everything.
We are off the rails right now. I didn't know we were getting behind the scenes on this, but
yeah, I know.
It's good to give you guys, the listeners, a a sneak peek of what goes on over here at
So-
1818 Bird.
Have you in the Bird Street studio? Have you seen any of the commercials yet, Jeets?
Did they release those before?
So I never realized this, but they have been releasing some of them. I've purposely strayed away from them. Just like just like movie previews. You know what I mean? Like they'll give the whole movie away. I don't want to. I want to be like surprised. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, it ruins the fun of it, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's time to make the Super Bowl commercials great again. That's what I think.
Make the Super Bowl commercials great again. They've
Last year
been pretty
sucked.
weak these last few years. They're getting a little too politically correct and a
Awful
little bit
last
too
year. Sentimental and emotional and
And Doritos, who's probably one of like the best ones year after year, is pulled out this year, from what I heard.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they won't be doing a Super Bowl commercial.
What was there last year? The When Pigs Fly or whatever?
They had a couple. They had the one where the baby pops out of the where the woman's getting the ultrasound.
Oh,
and the
jeez.
guy's eating Doritos, and this baby flies out of her. I don't even know where.
I remember
The belly button, from what I was told growing up.
What was the baby? The puppy monkey baby? I remember that. Who was that? It was like Mountain Dew last year.
Yeah,
Puppy
something.
monkey baby. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get too excited about the commercials because there's only so much they can do.
So yeah, one was already declined by Fox though. That's what I saw.
Now
They had-
that's
was-
worth checking out.
It was something with like a wall and the whole Trump deal and all that.
Oh.
And they were like, "Nah, redo it. We don't want this. This is too much." Or
Do you know
whatever.
who it was?
No, I don't know the vendor or whatever.
U.S. Steel. Why do you invest in us? We'll build that damn wall.
The funny one I saw that somebody go. It was just like a tweet or something. It was like, Mexico's answer is we're gonna have a ladder. Some just like some stupid shit.
That is pretty good.
All right, let's move into another boring storyline. Rutgers players. That's like one of the only storylines. There's a lot of Rutgers players.
Yeah, I'm yawning just thinking about it.
But you're the Jersey. You got the connection up there, right? Rutgers football sucks.
Sure.
Historically.
Oh yeah. They're perennial losers. I don't think they won 2 games this past year.
That's kind of weird, huh?
It is weird that they. I think Belichick had a good relationship with Schiano, Helix,
Shiano?
and he
Is
used to
that
come
the
down and
Detroit
watch
guy?
their practice. Oh no, that's Schwartz.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of where that comes from. That is a boring storyline, though.
I know. But it's weird because it's on both teams. It's not like one team has a little bit. It's like both teams has like 2, 3, 4 players.
That is pretty strange that Rutgers is the most represented school.
Yeah, more than Bama or more than like some SEC, some big schools people would think.
Yeah, pour one out for Rutgers. Congratulations.
So what you go, you're gonna watch the game. What's your Super Bowl what's your best setup? What do you like to do? You like to have it on TV, you like to have a bet on it, you like to do the squares,
Well, obviously it always depends on, whether your team's in it or not.
Yeah.
Had that luxury memorable 3 times in my life.
You've never
most
been,
years
right?
I've never been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to do, one year. I think it's such an expensive event. It's one event. I mean, you're looking at,
You're in at least 2 G's, right?
I would think at least for probably one ticket, and where you're flying, they're going to jack up the airfare. So I've never been, but it's maybe a bucket list item at some point. And then, God forbid, you pay all that money and you go out there and your team loses.
Yeah, you see a loss.
Holy smokes! That's like it's like when you pay the big money for the golf courses and you play like shit. You just say, you know what? I'm putting all this money out. I better enjoy this damn thing. I don't care what happens. I feel like I'd be more emotionally invested in the Super Bowl loss, though.
Yeah, that'd be tough. You can't really escape that either. You're gonna take that loss and then you're gonna sit in it the whole time. Yeah, it's not
Right. You get to watch confetti fall down, and you get to fly home with, Let's not even think about that. That just sounds awful. My ritual for one of these nondescript Super Bowls were 2 teams I could give 2 shits about.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Get some buddies together. Get a little crew. Get some good food. You want some wings, some nachos. I'm getting fired up just thinking about it.
Absolutely.
Maybe some
A
grilled
little-
asparagus with bacon around it.
Buffalo chicken dip.
A buffalo chicken dip for the bitches.
I love the squares game though. That's what gets me riled up. I don't know why.
Big fan of the squares game.
It's such a dumb excitement, but love the squares. Throwing some money down.
Yeah, I threw $20 in a box this year. Probably a little bit more than I usually spend, but I think I'm going to do it differently this year. I'm probably just going to do 1 box and just focus on those numbers.
Yeah.
So I got my numbers in already. I'm sure the whole podcast world really gives a shit about this, but I got Atlanta 9 and New England 3.
Well, it's
So
more
not bad
it's
for those field goal kickers.
It's even more interesting than it used to be, though, I think, because of the way that the 2-point conversions work now, the way that the rules are. There's more variety in the scores, I think, you'd see than you would historically, right? I mean, 7-3-0, those would be some of the big ones.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good point. I mean, people are, missing these extra points left and right all of a sudden. So, I mean, there's definitely more variability in what you're going to get. But I think you're still kind of screwed if you get like a 5 and 5 and I don't even know, 2. What are you gonna do with 5 and 2?
You're going to get the safety, huh?
I can't even think of a combination with the 2 other than a safety.
Yep. All right, so what do we got coming up? We obviously got the Super Bowl coming up. I get my stitches out. Big day tomorrow. Get my stitches out. Well on the way to recovery. What else is going on?
Yeah, it's gearing up for the game. We're going to be entering that my favorite time of the year where there's absolutely no sports going on.
Yikes. Well, college hoops is heating up. You got the old March Madness coming back at us, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, we are. But we got January off the page. It's February.
Yeah,
short month. Only 28 days this year. It was 29 last.
Leap year.
So we got that going for us. So, I mean, before you know it, we'll have good vibes going. Winter so far has not been that bad weather-wise, but I'm sure we got another big snowstorm or two ready to ruin our weekend.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think podcast-wise, too, what else we got coming up. There's a few things we're cooking up, a few back burner ideas we'll pull out. Masters, right, we were mentioning. Definitely want to do that. A couple guest hosts potentially coming up. So
we'll get you a few more things before the Masters podcast. That's another 2.5 months away.
I know, but they're already priming the commercials. You see
they
that?
are priming the commercials. It's a little exciting when those commercials come on. I'm not going to lie to you.
Love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, so good stuff. So send us some ideas. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any podcast ideas or anything that you'd like us to touch upon, we're more than happy to, weigh in with our 2 cents.
To touch on you. That sounds creepy as shit. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in this week. Thanks for listening in. I think we'll sign it off here, Mikey, unless you got anything to add.
Yeah, welcome back to the cast and tell your friends.
All right, guys. Catch you later.